What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be finishing off the steering setup for the E30, and then we're going to be moving on to the fuel supply. For the fuel supply, we're just changing the fuel pump. This fuel pump is actually from an E46, not an E30. The reason I'm changing it is because the one I've got in there at the minute isn't supplying enough pressure. It's only supplying around 3 bar. This one supplies around 3.5 bar, which is what the M54 expects to run at. So in the second part of the video, we'll change this, and then it's just peace of mind. Brand new fuel pump, and hopefully we should have no more fueling issues. First part of the video is kindly sponsored by Maxpeedingrods. They got in touch with me via Instagram, and we got talking on Instagram, and I was asking what they can send out to help with the swap. Gave them a list of parts, and obviously they can't send me everything, and they sent me the power steering lines, which I've got here. Again, thank you Maxpeedingrods for sending these out to me. If you don't know who they are, they specialise in auto parts and accessories, ranging from like turbos, coilovers, connecting rods and camber plates. If you want to check more out, I've got a link in the description to their website, and you can use code Joe Bradley for 17% off. Right guys, we've got the power steering lines here. This back one is the low pressure hose. It was custom made at my local hydraulic shop. The front one is the high pressure one, which was sent by Maxpeedingrods. The difference with this one, it's not fed from the reservoir, it's fed from the pump at that fitting there, and it goes straight to the rack on that banjo bolt as well. So what we'll do now, guys, is we'll get under the car, we'll get the lines fitted and installed. We'll move to the back of the car, we'll get the fuel pump installed and sorted out. And if you want to see like behind the scenes and little updates of the build, follow me on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Right guys, this is what the power steering lines look like when they're fully installed onto the rack. As you can see, we've got the high pressure line at the top and the low pressure line at the bottom that goes to the reservoir. This pipe here, that will go to the power steering pump. I'll show you that in the next clip. And as you can see, there is a gap here. Very snug, very tight, but it does fit. It doesn't look too bad. So I'll show you guys the pump now. And this is what the high pressure line is looking like on the pump side of the car. We've got the pump here. It's obviously ran off the auxiliary belt. And then you've got the main feed in here, which is on a compression fitting. And you've got the pipe that goes round the back of the sump and onto the rack. It's a nice fit. It looks nice as well. It looks quite original, which is always a positive. But yeah, it looks all right. And I'm happy that we've got the power steering line sorted, which is another good thing for the swap. We can fill the reservoir with fluid, get it bled through for when we start the car again and when it's roadworthy. Power steering lines are fitted. We're going to move to the back of the car, take the fuel pump out. I'll bring it out here, and then I'll show you guys which parts we're going to be changing. Right guys, this is what the fuel pump should look like. I've got the pump on the left hand side, and this is the sender. This basically tells you how much fuel you've got if your E30 gauge actually works. What we're going to be changing is this bit here. This is the actual fuel pump. So what we're going to do is take this off and change this, because we'll need a different strainer for the pump. We'll have to take these solder connections off, and we can either resolder on the new pump or we can use crimped connections. So what we'll do now is we'll take this apart and get a new one fitted. So as you guys can see, it's pretty easy to take apart. 4 bolts there that you take off when it's in the car, otherwise you won't be able to get it off. You've got that connector there from that pipe to the pump. You've got your fuel strainer, and you've got like a little I think that's just for like vibration and dampening on the bottom of the pump. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to take these solder connections off, and we're going to fit the new pump. Before I take this off and take it all apart, I'll show you guys a close-up of what the old pump looks like against this newer pump. This pump is apparently the one that fits the E46, but it just supplies a higher pressure rating, so we'll use this one. You can see that the size difference is pretty big, hence why we can't use this part anymore, as if we were to slide that on there, we won't get it on this top bit here. So this will just get replaced with a small bit of fuel hose, so we'll discard that. The fuel strainer obviously doesn't fit that. Bore size is completely wrong, so what you'll have to do is find yourself a fuel strainer with the right bore size, and it will slide straight onto your fuel pump. So this is what we're looking at, guys. This is the new modified pump. Obviously this is the old one. Different strainers at the bottom. This one's newer as well. Side by side comparison of the size of the pump as well. It's a lot bigger. Only just fits as well. We've taken out that midsection that was on here and we've replaced it with just a small fuel hose. Got the new crimp connections here. You can get those connections anywhere. I got those from B&Q. Just make sure you get the right crimping tool and always make sure that your sender will fit down the side. I've already test fitted it and it does fit. So next thing to do with this is fit this in the car, and then we'll use a fuel pressure tester to make sure that this is going to be supplying the right pressure after the regulator. And if you're wondering which regulator I'm using this from the S54 motor. This bolts onto the housing of the S54 fuel filter, so you have to take this off, and then you've got your fuel pressure regulator on the top. You have to switch this one out for a 3.5 bomb module. You've got your supply income that clips onto the fuel rail, and then you've got your return hose. Also guys, after I installed the power steering lines, I had to wait for some fuel pump parts to turn up. While I was waiting, I had my exhaust parts to turn up, so I thought I'd show you what I've been up to in the meantime. Right guys, so if anybody's been following on Instagram, they know I would have fabbed up this straight part here, and it's a dual 2-inch system. And then while I was waiting for fuel pump parts to turn up, I had these two bends, these straight pipes and these two bends here turn up, so I thought I'd fab up those bits as well. Stuff like this just gets posted on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description for it if you want to go follow and see more stuff like this. But yeah, we're getting closer. I've got the two pipes as well that will finish this midsection here, and then what I'll do is I'll buy the back box and then I'll join the pipes up to the back box at the rear axle. And that is everything for this video, guys. Once again, I want to say thank you to Maxpeedingrods for sending out the power steering lines. A website link is in the description for them. And as always guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button, comment down below as well, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.